Hello there and welcome back. That's right, I decided to get my Jedi robes out after Halloween. If I'm only going to wear them twice a year, I guess, if you're including May 4th, I'm going to make it last. So we've got them back out. We're wearing them more than twice. But today we've got a very special video because the next issue of the LEGO Star Wars magazine has arrived. And this is, I believe, the very first magazine to come with an exclusive UCS minifigure. The minifigure on this issue is very glary right now. That's better. The minifigure on this issue is the Droideka from the UCS. It's a buildable Droideka. I'm pretty sure somewhere I've seen that it's a UCS set. Not all buildable characters are, but I am considering this a UCS minifigure, considering it's one of the better buildable characters. And just before we get into the magazine, I also want to flip to the end so that those of you that can't wait till the end of the video will find out the Clone Shock Trooper is in next month. We've already spoken about that when we ranked your favorite minifigure of the year, which, spoiler alert, isn't the Clone Shock Trooper or the Droideka, though this Droideka possibly weren't even on the list. The Droideka build is, we'll get onto that in a minute. First off, thank you to Brickheads for sending us this free magazine. Before we look inside today's magazine, I'd like to give a massive thank you to Brickheads Toy Company for my free subscription. Brickheads, that's spelt with an S, is your one-stop shop for LEGO Star Wars magazines, as well as other themes like Ninjago. We've got all the superheroes, DC, Avengers, Spider-Man, and if you're not a fan of any of the themes, they also do Lego City. Right now, you can get 15% off your very first order. You can also use my affiliate code linked in the description. They don't charge any delivery whatsoever, no import, nothing. And by paying in advance, you can save up to 30% off your magazines. Every month, I get the English version of the Star Wars magazine, though Brickheads do also ship the German one if you either want the trading cards or can understand it. But we're also starting to get the Marvel one, which have some really good figures, and this Thor minifigure actually inspired a series on the channel. A lot of the minifigures you'll see in the magazine are quite expensive figures, be it because of the minifigure or sometimes the collector's tin that's provided alongside. Brickheads will never remove the poly bag, and for a magazine like DC that is only every other month, to fill the gap, they actually send you 3 poly bags and still don't charge you any more. So if you like what you hear, take a look in the description by subscribing to your favorite themes. These are the issues available right now, but keep an eye out because they'll be updating very, very soon. Let's get straight into the Droideka build. I'm assuming like with always, does that make sense? I'm assuming there are going to be instructions for it on the inside. There usually are, like with always. Oh, that's probably been the best separation of a polybag and magazine so far. Let's see if it tells us. I always show this page, but I never actually read it. Droideka instructions on page 28. There we go. Spoiler alert for the comics, though it's nice to see the destructive Droideka is featured in that issue alongside a droid we haven't seen before. Just 2, actually, that arm print is unique as well. And so is this droid that they're talking to. I'd love to get some more unique B1 battle droids. The Droideka page can also be cut out. Here are the build instructions for your toy. You can also cut out the page and store it in a folder so that you build your toy whenever you like later. For those of you that are going to try something like that, I recommend bookmarking the actual buildable Droideka instead. It's the same build as of that set, and at least you've got some Droideka puzzles on the other side. You're not ruining any posters. Oh, it says at the bottom of the magazine, you can also find the instructions for your toys online. And Blue Ocean have listed, they've listed a website. Enter the item number on the back of your toy bag. Is it this? Where's the item number now? There we go, item, and it has the website again. This is 912510, if you were curious. And usually we're a bit gentler with these bags, but I don't think I'm going to be keeping this one. Making sure all of our pieces are out. We don't want any of them left behind. It's a shame it doesn't come with any sort of force field, and we haven't to date got any trans blue element that would work as a force field. A few pieces to make note of in this build. Nothing too special about the base. I guess the 1x1 studs with the holes in aren't too common, but especially this element that you will definitely know if you picked up and already built your advent calendars. I'm waiting till December for mine, but there are another one in each of those. Tell you what, let's see if we can capture some of the satisfying Lego sounds. Oh, that was crisp. You know what? It isn't actually too bad a build. I quite like that. And I have to talk about what everyone else is talking about. When this set come out, there were a lot of eyes looking towards the shape of the Droideka from above. Especially after Marvel snuck in the dick joke to the WandaVision series. Was that Quicksilver? There were a few comments made about how this Droideka looks. I'm not sure if the slope on top was the best thing. It does feel like it sticks out a bit too far at the back of the Droideka. I'm not entirely sure that a smaller slope would be better, but we're going to have to give it a go. This change is super simple. We're just swapping the entire back thing out for one of these littler tiny slopes here, and potentially even we could try and keep the back. I think this is already looking more like a Droideka. It's still got the problem that the other one does, it's just less obvious. Maybe there's even a better element than this slope. I tell you what would work better than the slope. Another 1x2 slope. Rather than the 1x1 chi slope, we'll replace that with a 1x2 slope, and that should just slow off the angle at the back. Yeah, surely that looks better for a Droideka. I'm going to have to see a Droideka side by side. Let me know what you think. This is the Master Mouldie upgrade. And this is Lego's... Not sure how I'm feeling about this, but I'm going to keep that in the corner just as a reminder that the Droideka is the polybag in this magazine. We all agree that the comics are the best, but I'm not going to show you through the magazine. Otherwise, what's the point of you ordering your subscription? But it doesn't stop me from reenacting some of my favourite scenes. Well, that was certainly enlightening. Bateau? I'm not here to play games. Yeah, well, I am. Why can't we have scenes like that as posters? That would look awesome. It's a trap. Although, saying that, I haven't yet got to the poster in the magazine, so it may be. Is this canonically another Mandalorian? Neville Hemon, who is a Mandalorian similar to the orange one we got, just a bit more shiny armor. That would be awesome to get. I don't think Neville Hemon is a actual character. I think it's probably based off something in Star Wars. Usually Lego do pull on some sort of pun for their names, but I'm going to have to add them to the collection. Here is the poster that is kind of based off of the comic. I guess we've got Mando and Boba. It's more so based off the book of Boba Fett, but the Rancor is brown, not grey. I'm realizing that's a very expensive custom to make. If you want to paint a Rancor, maybe I'll get around to 3D printing that eventually. But the other poster is the one that I'm more interested in and correlates to the actual build that come alongside this magazine. And that poster is one of Droideka's. My fiance is going to love this. She loves the Droidekas. They're kind of like Star Wars armadillos. And come to think of it, I'm liking them a bit more after saying that. I love an armadillo. And these would be super cute if they just got rid of all their scary robotness. But goodbye Batman and the Joker. If I get round to ordering some more frames or trying to pick some more up, I think ordering them's the right thing to do considering R1 is missing one of the clips. Then I will return Batman to the display, the door display. The daring door, the magazine, the poster display. But for now, Batman and Joker will go. We could also flip that around so it doesn't shine through. And they'll be replaced with the Droidekas. I'm wondering if I should tack down any of this poster because the Marvel one, was it, that we clipped up a few weeks back, did start slipping, or we can just lower this one straight away so it can't fall any further. I like it having the strip top and bottom is that extra layer of protection. And before we reveal it, let's secure it back up. I was going to put another clip on this side, and then I realized that we're one clip short. So maybe this will help me adjust it, though I feel like this is why it was slipping in the first place. What I'm going to do is take one of the clips from the top and see if my theory actually holds any truth. And there we have our Droideka poster. I love the posters in this magazine. Star Wars Lego need to actually make some more posters. They give a few away for events. We do have the Monkey Kid poster. We also have, there's an F1 poster, but I feel like I'm forgetting one. And these would just sell so well if they sold them for like a couple of quid. But now the moment of truth. It's a good thing I put this frame the right way around. I didn't think of checking. Take a look at that. The problem with these horizontal posters is there's just not enough room to get 4 of them. 4 portrait posters fits perfect. I don't think we'll be able to fit a portrait one next to a horizontal. On one side, we get just under half the poster. I don't know. We might be able to make it work, but let's finish with the magazine. I like the look of this one. A dot to dot, because you go dot to dot. It starts at 1 and goes up to 45. I've just realized I don't actually have a pen around. I guess whiteboard pen it is. Thankfully, I do have an orange one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to round it off as we go. Oh, that's the stud. This is a Lego BB. Of course it is. It's a Lego Star Wars magazine. Wait, 10, 14, 10, 11. But then how 14? Where's 15? Oh, we start and stop at different colors. That makes more sense than trying to zigzag the whole way around. If I hadn't noticed that, BB-8 would have lines all over. Got the anti-stud. I don't think that would be colored in. Maybe we can switch up the color as well. I feel like the outline being orange, maybe we could have got a different color. 6 paths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 colors. We'll make it work. The good thing is this path is just the eye. So I think I'm going to do this one in orange. The numbers are all orange. Almost a perfect circle. And then the blue path will be in blue. Oh, stay within the lines. Or the dots. The green path makes sense to be green, but I can't find... Oh, there's the start. Hidden way down there. I'm not sure all of these lines should be connected. And there's definitely some crossover if you aren't, like me, trying to curve them around some of the other shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did it not say 6? Take a pen and use it to trace the numbers of the 6 paths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's 5? 5. Let's trace it first. 5. It's Batman. 6, and already we're on to number 6. And there's another green one. These don't connect up at all, do they? 9. Oh, 10. And then we'll go back to green, my favorite color. All right, that's start, 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 and start. There's 7. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Take a pen and use it to trace the numbers of the 6 paths. Don't forget to color your picture when done. But there's 7. There's 7 paths. I guess there was probably 6 paths before they outlined it. Maybe they forgot to correct that. Or could one of these paths have been split up so it was easier to color in? That could also be another point. Wow. I'm going to connect that up. Even though it doesn't say to connect it up, I feel like that line should be connected. Here is our colorful BB-8, and I'm not going to color it up, but I do think that's pretty cool. Maybe another little circle up here. What color Should we do that? Maybe blue? If we got another circle up here, I feel like it's just missing out on another dome to fill all that empty space. And then another little interior section there. There we go. I feel like that is the perfect BB-8. And it kind of looks like the snowy one we're getting in the Advent. I cannot wait to open it up. There are a few other puzzles that I will do later. I tend not to do the puzzles, but I haven't been donating the recent magazines, so I feel like I might as well. Especially these brick building ones. They all seem easy, but there are ways that you can make it a little bit more difficult, especially if you try to like stack a bunch of them together. Literally try to stack a bunch of the images and build that with your bricks. Oh, interesting choice. A New Hope Han Solo, potentially later Return of the Jedi, we don't see the legs, with an accurate Luke minus the poncho, and an inaccurate Leia in an Endor onesie. Can we spot the Ewoks? There's Wicket, there's not Tebow. Oh, the other one. Can we name the Ewoks? There. No, I think that's just something to throw us off our tracks. 2 Ewoks so far. 3. That's just the tough of one of the ears. And are they all hidden on this page? Which of the brave little heroes can you find in the undergrowth? Well, I found Wicket, I have found C, and I found E over here. Let me know if you can find any more. I refuse to do this. I don't know how many dice are involved or if there are any. What's this? Test your marksmanship. Take a Lego brick, place it at the start, and then shoot it into the target area by flicking it. We've got to give it a go. My challenger that I am choosing to represent me in this battle is a 2x4 brick because it's the perfect size for the start brick. I feel like I can't miss it. Surely I can't miss it. My only worry is overshooting this. So I've got a cardboard box at the finish line just in case I get too carried away. And I've also realized this is too big to hit number 10. Maybe we'll try with a stud in a second. Oh, that's 10, 5, and 3, 18 points. Unbeatable. Let's try it with... I don't want to try an actual Lego missile because I know for a fact it will shoot off the desk. But let's at least try a... Let's try a stud. Rather than a stud, let's try a 1x1 tile. I feel like this is much lighter. I'm going to go a little bit softer for this one. That's cheating. It hit the brick. What? Okay, stop the infighting here. And let's focus on the objective. Oh, this is going to be difficult. There are so many different ways you can switch up these puzzles. And especially ones like this. I suppose... it expects you to use some of the bricks from the previous puzzle, like a 2x2, a 2x4, maybe a 2x6. But if you really want a challenge, just get an A4 sheet of paper, start on one side, left or right, and try to shoot it to the other side. And for even bigger challenge, turn the page 90 degrees. I don't actually think I'm going to be able to do this. Okay, there goes the stud. I'm going to have to practice my technique and see if I can beat my 18 points. Maybe if I get both sides of the 5, that will win. Also, where did the stud actually go? I found the stud, but I also headbutted the desk in the process. Whoa! Is that Count Dooku in minifigure form? Zoom in, analyze it. Is that the same minifigure that we got last time? Is that the same head print that I need for my Count Dooku? Or are we getting a new minifigure in 2026? All jokes aside, we're overdoing minifigure, and I'd love to see some Magna Guards as well. Potentially, if Lego want to give us a cloth element for the Magna Guards, especially for the cape, a nice little Mando cape, I wouldn't mind the Magna Guards being represented in minifigure form, especially if we get a brand new droid leg. Because to go on a little tangent here, we get a load of different minifigures from Lego. Not all of them are humans or humanoids even. A lot of droids, especially in Fortnite. You've seen Grievous, you've seen IG-11, IG-88. I think both of them were represented in minifigure form, probably more so IG-11. I don't see many bounty hunters getting a skin, but what LEGO do to a lot of non-humanoids is give them unique heads and unique legs. So if we got that with the Magma Guard, got a sculpted head with a bit of the material going into a Mando cape, a regular torso, and some droid minifigure legs, I don't think they're switching up the B1 design anytime soon. It will most likely just be that with a torso flipped and a stud as we see on the magazine. But I can still dream about the perfect Magna Guard design. Looks like he's been fitted with a rubber cape. That's the rubber Batman cape. That is probably the Batman cape flipped. And even this one, the wrinkles in it just look like that Superman cape. I love to pick apart a magazine. Let's see if all of this is correct. Droids were dominant in the Separatist army. They were later programmed to act independently, which is true, especially after the Battle of Naboo, where wiping out the command ship wiped out the entire army. That sounds like a big problem, though the same was true with the Empire. You take out the leader, stormtroopers weren't loyal anymore. Known for their programming errors, by no means clever. Hate to say it, I think that one's true, but their sheer numbers were overwhelming in any situation. All right, the B2 is a further developed B1 battle droid, hence why it's called the B2. They're stronger and larger, fearless, running at full speed towards adversaries. They are fearless, running at full speed towards their adversaries, blasters blazing. Yeah, that stands up. Droidekas. These droids are a force to be reckoned with. They have a large twin blaster mounted on the ends of each arm that can fire with tremendous power and speed. Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-choo. I love the sound the Droidekas make when they're firing as well. If we could get a smart brick in the bigger version, that's a missed opportunity now. Would have sounded amazing. Whilst we're speaking of the bigger version, tonight I'll be going live and hopefully building the bigger Droideka. So be sure to come back next week and see exactly what I think of the larger set. Droids also have built-in deflector shields to provide protection, and they can transform into disc-like shapes. Let's see if this polybag can. I think we'd have to remove the legs and roll these up. We can also get rid of the display stand. It's a few oh, we actually can't get rid of the display stand because it is holding in the clip for the torso. Okay, we can get rid of two of the studs off the bottom. The arms can also fold up nicely into the legs. And the guns, the turrets should provide a little more support when we're rolling these around. Let's be careful not to break any of the clips on the Droideka's legs. Maybe it'd be better if the Droideka's weapons were rolled up in the back. I feel like we're missing something to support the back, because at the front we have the body can roll up a little bit, but we also have the eyes or the antennas that can be folded down. And let's see if we can get it to roll across the desk. Well, it rolls just about as well as the big one. We've got to be able to at least make it to the target. Come on, maybe we start it on the head. That'd be cool if it rolled into attack mode. Hey, I'm counting that as a win. Finally, the Vulture droids perform far more difficult maneuvers. They lack intelligence and creativity, but don't they have no pilots? Aren't Vulture droids, I guess it depends what you qualify as intelligence, because in the modern age of humanity, AI and artificial intelligence is anything that can perform a task on its own. At this point, automatic doors are going to start being called AI. And the fact that Vulture droids can be given orders and then act on the orders, they aren't told how to attack, they're just told to attack. I would class that as some sort of intelligence. As for creativity, not really. They can move around using a running mode or use their wing sections, whilst using their wing sections as legs, which I always found was really interesting about the Vulture droids. They're kind of quadrupedal and then their legs come up as wings. Surely that can't be efficient. And on the back, we have an accessory for a Lego box. I'm going to have to build this. It kind of feels like the cheaper way to get these tins in magazines. All right, we're going to have to cut through that. And it wasn't so long ago that we got this Darth Maul tin in a magazine with a Darth Maul. This one doesn't feature a Droideka, Luke, Kenobi, and Yoda, with an Inquisitor, Vader, and Palpatine. So we have original trilogy, and like, oh, I guess, yeah, original trilogy for them all. I was thinking that there was one prequel, one original trilogy, and one guy from between, but no sign of the sequels. You'll always find something on the back of the magazine. Sometimes they do playing cards that you can cut out and play Snap or some other card game with them, and sometimes it's even included in the main game in the magazine. The last Batman one, I think, came with a Batman mask that I didn't even cut out. Maybe I'll save that for next time. But I quite like the arts and craft builds. We've built a few of these paper boxes before. I think the last one we did was from a Ninjago magazine. I really need to invest in a metal ruler. And for any of you that are too young to be cutting things yourself, I don't really know what the age limit is. It's more so if you could be trusted doing this alone. It goes without saying, parental supervision is advised. Because they've got this extra tab as well, it looks like you don't need glue to hold it up, which is awesome because alongside not having pens in the studio, I don't have glue either. And there we have the base of our little paper Star Wars tin. It's a bit smaller and is not made of tin, so it's more of a tub than a tin. But if you do want to have one side light side, one side dark side, I'd recommend flipping the other side over before you cut it out. Also, with this little section here, I don't think you need to cut out that sliver because it's only paper. It's not going to matter if you have a bit too much extra paper here and there. So just one line will do fine. What you could also do is, too late for me, but leave a little bit extra paper on either side just so it folds into the bottom. And then when you've got a lot of Lego, if you're trying to cram too many minifigures, and use this as a carry case to keep your minifigures and accessories in one place, which is a great thing to do, then the weight of the Lego will also keep the sides in rather than too much pressure making it bow out and potentially open up during travel. Oh, almost went through the desk. I'm not sure how I can be trusted to have a knife, but at least if something goes wrong, I've got it on camera. Let's just hope something doesn't go wrong. This knife, also, let me cover the sharp point before I do something I'm going to regret. Also reminds me of a lightsaber with a metallic bottom and then the shiny blue blade. I don't know why this lightsaber sounds like a train, but there we go. I have sliced and diced. Oh, I've torn it. There are assembly instructions as well. Sliced and diced the bottom of the box, or the lid. I think this was the lid of the box. And I don't know if it does matter which way round you have them. I assume one of them's probably bigger, the lid, so that it can fit on top. But we don't know that until we've folded it up. Let's get the final few edges done. We're going with the Sith this side. You can stick with one. Maybe you don't like the Sith. Maybe you don't like the Jedi. Your hatred will fuel you whilst you're cutting this out. And then we're getting the tabs on either side. We hide away the Jedi, just like so. I really like the fact that this model doesn't need any glue. Obviously, it will be stronger with glue or sellotape or blue tack even, but that will hold just fine, especially when pressed against the inside of the box. And even if you don't want to put anything inside, it's a neat little display, bit of arts and craft. You could do this without the magazine and print your own display on the front or the back, but look at that dark side. That's going to look great next to Maul. As for whether the Droideka will fit in either one of these, no chance. Even if you take the arms and legs off, I fear the head it might fit, but the full Droideka, no chance. Whilst we're here, I might as well cut out my BB-8 and maybe I'll decorate that around the room. I am very proud of my design here. I'm sure all of you could do a much better job. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the link in the description, my affiliate code, if you do want to purchase a subscription for yourself Reminder that Canada are also being expanded into, but right now the United States have free delivery. Grab it whilst it lasts. I have a feeling the next couple of years these are going to get popular, especially if we keep getting minifigures over builds. But stay tuned for the next months coming very soon. Until then, may the bricks be with you always.